But what is up, everybody? You'll notice that Josh and Tara are not here with us to host this PDQ Live, so you're stuck with me, unfortunately. But to make up for it, we brought Mark on with us today, who is our VP of products like PDQ Connect.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to walk through what we've been working on at PDQ Connect today.
Yeah, and we've been working on a lot, right?
We have. There's a lot of new capabilities we've released or are about to release. There's a lot of beta programs going on right now with the new capabilities, and so we thought it'd be great to come on and share a little bit more about what is it we're doing and where are we going.
Yeah, and so it's like depending on if you've requested access to either alphas, betas, or if you just have general release, you might not have access to some of this stuff, or some of it might be coming, or maybe you're in the alphas or betas and you've been using it for a little while now and helping us test and everything. So
yeah, we make it really confusing because we like to use alpha and beta and early access. It's wild. We like all those terms, but we are going to walk through today and give you a really good idea of what is it we've been building, what's currently available, how to sign up for a beta or an alpha or an early access, and we're going to show you that today.
Yeah, and a lot of this stuff is like really changing how you really even like interact with Connect in a way. It's like the information, the screens that we're displaying, like summarizing things better, just making it a better experience for people.
Yeah, I mean, and I think you're going to see that today. So we're going to do live demos, which is always a little scary, but the features we're going to show today are being used today, many of them by dozens of customers or even hundreds.
Yeah.
So we're gonna walk through that. We're going to show you what we're building, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. And while we're doing that, make sure while we've got Mark here, we've got him trapped here for at least 30 minutes. So while he's here, definitely, like, if you guys got questions and stuff about the product, like the future of the product, you guys got feature requests and stuff like that, definitely chime in the chat. We're watching it, and we'll, get those questions and features submitted. So
yeah, and on that note, we're always looking for feedback.
Yeah.
And so if you do have questions, we want to hear them. But also, we're also happy to jump on the phone and talk to you if you have feedback. So if you have something that you're really passionate about, either something that's frustrating about one of our products or something you want to see us add, we want to know.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way we're ever going to make the product even better.
Yeah. And I do expect, knowing our audience, I do expect that there's one question that will 100% make its way into the chat today. But we'll see. We'll see if people can guess what that is. So
yeah, I'll be shocked if it doesn't. And we're going to talk about that specifically. I won't say what it is quite yet.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that specific item a little bit and kind of give some ideas on time frame, what to expect for that item.
Yeah, sweet. Well, let's jump into PDQ Connect and take a look at what's new.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you didn't know this, so like you might have thought Kelly did just the car, not that little like tinkle at the end. He actually does both.
Yeah, that was impressive. I'm impressed. All right, so we're going to jump into PDQ Connect. Very similar, familiar screen for many of us. We're going to start our journey today on the Devices tab. Again, we've all seen that 1,000 times. The first feature that we want to go over today is the Audit Log.
Yeah.
This is a great addition to PDQ Connect. The reason why we built this, pretty self-explanatory, but the reason why we built this is we want to give you more insight into how your users are using PDQ Connect.
Yeah.
We also want to make sure that you're compliant with any of the business rules you have around auditing and logging.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we built the Audit Log feature. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of give you a quick idea of how that works. Again, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm going to click it anyways.
It'll F11 on that keyboard.
Yeah, I will. If I can find it. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. All right. So the Audit Logs gives you an audit log. Almost every event that you can do inside of PDQ Connect is now in the Audit Log. There's a couple events we're still looking to add. I went in here recently. I ignored a whole bunch of vulnerabilities. Maybe not always a good idea, but I did it on my test system. But you can see things like if someone downloaded the agent, who did it, who's deleted a user, who's modified a thing. The Audit Log will show you all that information. Really, really easy. You can also export the Audit Log. There are some limits on the export, but you can page through and export as much as you choose to do so.
And can you filter off like user and stuff in here?
Yeah, so there's quite a bit of quite a number of different options. You can search the Audit Log. So we could say, you know what, let's look for maybe we had a problem where someone deleted a user and they shouldn't have done that. So we're just going to look for the word delete, and you can easily see, okay, here's all the deleted.
Gotcha.
You can look for what did Mark do specifically, and you can see all those things that I've been up to, all the trouble I've been causing. You also have the normal things you'd expect when it comes to a table inside of PDQ Connect, like you can change the columns. There's not a lot of columns you can add. And then of course you can also go in and filter. Filtering is somewhat basic, but there's not a lot here to really filter on. So
right. I mean, this is a dream come true compared to like if you've been working in Event Viewer for long enough, trying to scan those logs for stuff versus this where it's just like plain English tells you like who did it, when they did it, and what they did.
Yeah, really straightforward, really easy to use. We didn't want to over-engineer audit logs. We want to make it really simple for everyone to kind of figure out how to use. And that is audit logs. There's a couple of questions I think maybe I'll just hit right away. Is there an API to pull the logs? Not right now. That is something that we're thinking about. Michael Hilton in chat, he is the product manager actually that was responsible for audit logs.
Okay.
And yeah, as you can see there, he's mentioned that it is something that we've considered but aren't currently doing.
Mm-hmm. And I think you'll find as we go through this that a lot of this stuff comes from the direction of our users, right? It's like what they're looking for. And we take, like we said at the beginning of the show, like we take that stuff to heart. So if there are features or things that you want, sound off, send us a message, let us know that those are the things that you need in your organization. And that is what helps us steer the ship, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, we built this and tested this out using customer feedback, which is instrumental in actually making it good and useful.
Yeah, 100%.
All
right, so there's audit logs. What are we taking a look at next? Software tab?
Yeah, let's do the software tab next. All right. This is something that we've been working on for quite a while. This is rolling out to all of our customers right now. Mm-hmm. So by I think the end of today, all customers will have access to this. It is a premium feature.
So the rollout started.
The rollout started, yeah. So this was in beta for a couple weeks.
Uh-huh.
And the beta has been really, really successful. We've got a lot of really good feedback around, where it's good and where it's bad and what can we do to make it better. And based on that feedback, we feel really confident that it's ready for prime time.
Cool.
We are releasing it with the label early access. It's the first time we've ever used that term here, which is just to say we know that there's a couple of things we need to continue to build on it, but we think it's extremely useful even in its first version. So more to come on the software tab. But let me give you an idea of kind of why we built it. The vulnerabilities tab is great. It's really, really useful to see all the vulnerabilities that impact your system. Mm. If you haven't kept up on your vulnerabilities, that vulnerability tab can be very overwhelming.
That can be a big list.
It can be, yeah. And in fact, I bet right now in my test system, if we were to go to the vulnerabilities tab, it's a lot of stuff in there, right? It can be overwhelming. It doesn't group them all. And so if you want to go in and just say, how do I fix and secure Chrome? Mm-hmm. You're going to have a lot of different vulnerabilities that are impacting Chrome, and it can be very overwhelming. That's where the software tab comes into play, and I love the software tab. It's probably one of my favorite features. I got a lot of favorite features, but the software tab is all about simplifying and giving you more insight into where are the vulnerabilities and what is the one-click fix to resolve those vulnerabilities.
That is so much cleaner.
Oh, it's so much cleaner. Yeah. Now the vulnerabilities tab isn't going anywhere. It serves a purpose to get into the details, but this is a very easy summary of where we see problems. So I'll give you an example here. So with Google Chrome, we have 6 vulnerabilities that have been detected, 5 high vulnerabilities, and 1 medium. So what I can do is I can click into Google Chrome, and I'm going to see a list of all of the vulnerabilities. So we kind of changed it. Right? It used to be you'd see each vulnerability for Chrome independent. Now you see them all under one umbrella.
Gotcha.
And it makes it very easy to quickly go in and then deploy Chrome to resolve those vulnerabilities.
And don't pay attention to those 3-digit numbers, guys. This is a test environment. We're okay.
That's right. Yeah, this is a test system. So that's essentially how the vulnerabilities tab is evolving. Again, the vulnerabilities tab, we're continuing to build more on the vulnerabilities tab. So no plan to get rid of that. One of the things that we're planning on doing with that tab is to add in more searching and filtering capabilities, which right now it's fairly limited on what you can search and filter on.
Mm. Yeah, really cool. And it's, again, kind of going into that vulnerabilities tab, it's scary, but there's so much good information there, right? So that's what it's like, hey, I need to do some troubleshooting. I need to figure out what's going on. I need to figure out exactly what vulnerability is impacting the system and why, or maybe you need to report on that stuff. That's where it's go to the vulnerabilities tab. If you just are looking for the high level, hey, I just want to see this at a glance, the software tab is amazing at that.
Yeah, it's really good. And we are, like I said earlier, we're not anywhere near done with software tab. There's so much more we plan to do. So this is the first pass. Some of the things that our customers have told us that they want to see in addition to what we have right now is this tab currently will only show software that has vulnerabilities. Mm-hmm. So the next thing that we're working on is showing all software in your environment, regardless of whether or not it has a vulnerability. So you have a good snapshot of what are all the applications
Gotcha.
in my environment.
In your environment. Now, do you think at some point you'll be able to add like the computer count here?
Yes. Yeah. So there's a couple things that we're thinking about. One,
So like quick view of like, hey, we've got 300 devices with Chrome on it.
yeah. So computer count is one of them. The other thing that we haven't officially announced this, I don't think publicly, but one of the things that we're planning on doing with this software tab is eventually extending it to the policies feature. So policies will allow you to create bespoke rules for a given application on things like, I always want to keep Chrome one version behind, or I want to keep Chrome always up to date. So it's kind of combining a lot of the concepts of automation and groups into one very, very easy to use software concept.
Yeah. You heard it here, folks. Or first, folks. The it might not be public knowledge, but I guess it is now.
I guess so. Yeah, a little sneak peek there. All right, should we keep going?
Yeah, let's maybe dive into, show some love to our Mac folks out there.
Ooh, okay, all right. So, if you don't know, we have recently added, I guess it's been a couple months now, so I guess maybe recent is not totally the right word, but we added support for macOS devices in Connect.
Yeah.
Our goal with that is to have largely feature parity with what you can do on a Windows computer, to also be able to do on a Mac.
We're not there yet.
We're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of our journey on that. So we've added things like you can now install the agent. You can, it'll scan, and you create groups now using Mac inventory information. You also have the ability to do commands. So you can do bash commands. You also now, just recently, we released the ability to do remote desktop.
Okay.
Yeah, so really excited about that.
Is that a similar situation? Separate remote agent that gets installed on the Mac?
Yeah, almost works the exact same way. One of the core concepts behind what we're doing with Mac devices is that we want to keep management largely the same.
Yeah.
So you don't have to manage your Macs in a completely different way. So when you click the buttons are all in the same spot, the filters are all in the same spot, and that'll extend to what we're working on right now, which we have not yet released yet, but we're hoping to release in just a couple months, which is custom package support.
Now, would that be released into like an alpha or beta, or just like general release?
Yeah, so that will be released to our alpha customers. One of the nice things about the alpha, and I'd encourage everyone to give it a try, is that the alpha is actually free. So your Mac devices cost nothing.
Yeah.
During the alpha, and that plans to go through at least the end of this year.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. The interesting thing with Mac, and I feel like a lot of people that maybe weren't managing both, but are maybe like starting to adopt Mac, is you have a very clear difference between an MDM solution and a device management solution like PDQ Connect, right? So like you were saying, it's like we don't want the experience to be different when you manage your Mac through PDQ Connect. And I think that's what a lot of people are used to, because they're used to managing them through the MDM, right? And Connect is vastly different. And again, you get custom packages and maybe like package library support and stuff, and then that's a whole different ballgame for Mac support.
Yeah, that's right. And at this moment, we don't have any plans to integrate a full MDM, like Simple MDM, which is one of the products that PDQ offers, into PDQ Connect. We might eventually do that depending on feedback, but right now we're really focused on macOS devices being managed the exact same way that you manage your Windows devices.
Yeah.
If you are doing Mac, and I don't have that enabled on this particular account right now, but it's really straightforward. If you ask for access to the alpha, you can actually I do have it. Let me just show you really quick. It's really easy to use. Again, it's extremely similar to that of what you're doing with your Windows devices. There's two different options. You can download the macOS agent, or you can use this script to help you do the installation.
Okay. Really
easy, and it works just the same way.
Sweet. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I know. Here's the things, like there's a lot of people upset with Microsoft. I mean, and rightfully so. Windows 11 24H2 has not been a great experience. I think the overall opinion is it's not terrible, but more and more people are looking for alternatives, and that's, Linux and Macs for the most part. And so I think more and more people are getting users in their environments that are wanting Macs instead of Windows. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of demand for it.
Yeah, and so I mean, this is only going to grow and get bigger and bigger, and there's going to be more and more demand for it.
Yeah, it's interesting. macOS support inside of Connect is actually one of the top 5 most commonly requested capabilities for Connect.
Really?
Yeah. So
wow.
Excited about that.
Yeah, that's really cool. Especially if I've done a little bit of the MDM stuff, and man, it's a totally different experience, right? To manage a device with that. And I mean, same thing with like Intune and everything. But again, Connect just makes it so easy.
It does. And for some people, they're still going to want a product like Simple MDM.
Yeah.
If they want to go more granular on their device management, specifically around the Mac ecosystem.
Yeah. Sweet. All right, Mac stuff. I mean, definitely get into if you have Mac devices and you're not already in like the alpha or beta or anything, definitely like request to get in there, because I think we still have room to get more people in there, right? We don't have like a hard limit of who can request access to get that stuff.
Yeah, no hard limit. We want everyone who wants it to have access. There will be a point, we haven't exactly set the date yet, where we just turn it on for everyone to be able to use.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, you do have to request access. If you do want access, it's pretty easy to get set up. You can post on Discord, and we can get you access there.
Sweet. There you go. Discord.gg/PDQ. All right. Let's take a look at the next thing, which this one's big, right? Multi-tenancy.
All right, multi-tenancy. Okay. All right, let's set the stage on this one. So this is a long-term effort that we have. We've already released a handful of capabilities around multi-tenancy, but let me set the stage for what we're doing here. We've heard from lots of our customers that they want to be able to isolate devices for different reasons, maybe to help them manage them separately, maybe to have certain users only manage certain devices. We've also heard from our customers who are MSPs, where they need to have their individual customers isolated, but have some central control.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've released a handful of different multi-tenancy capabilities. We're not done. There's still more to come, but it's really, really easy to use. You just go up here to the top corner here and just kind of give you a general idea. And I have my organization. So that's my PDQ leadership demo account.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have created all of these sub-tenants. Each of these tenants are PDQ Connect accounts that are under my parent organization. So it makes it really easy to easily switch between the different tenants as you want to manage, different devices. We've seen customers talk about using it with servers versus end user endpoints, and having different tenants for each of those. And then we just barely released the ability to limit scope of access. So now you can say these users have access to these tenants, and these users have access to those tenants. In fact, when
which is huge, especially for MSPs.
Yeah,
like, hey,
you
are over this organization, not over these or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, least access, right? I mean, it makes sense. You don't want to give everyone everything. So we just barely released that capability. Go check it out. I mean, at this point, it is out of beta. It is now available for any customers to use.
And that is the multi-tenancy, and as far as like the user permissions per tenant.
Yep. Yeah, it's all included.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so what are there things that are still in alpha and beta right now that are not general release as far as like multi-tenancy is concerned?
Yeah, we've released most of what we have right now that was in alpha or in beta. There is additional capabilities that we are working on. Some of the things that we're currently working on or considering working on is the ability to easily move devices between tenants. So maybe you have a device that was in one office and now it moved. You want to change it from one tenant to another.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think one of the big things that people are asking is, okay, well, I want to be able to make a deployment from the parent tenant that impacts every child tenant. So centrally managing and things like deployments or automations, that is something that we're also working towards.
Gotcha.
But not available in a beta right now. It's very early still.
Yeah. But still, like, again, this is going to be probably a multi-year effort of building out this multi-tenancy feature, right? Because there's so much to it. It impacts so much stuff. So yeah, I think it's going to be kind of a slow burn as we work through all these different features, but we want to make sure they're done right. Yeah,
I mean, it's going to take a long time to continue adding in more and more multi-tenancy capabilities. Michael Hilton is our product manager over the multi-tenancy capabilities. He's in the chat today. If you have any feedback around multi-tenancy or what you want to hear or see, go ahead and post it in the chat. We'd love to collect that from you.
And that's under settings, right, to establish those tenants?
Yeah, so really easy to use. It's what I love about it is so simple. So if we go to settings, there is tenants. If you haven't enabled it yet, you're going to see a little box that says enable multi-tenancy. And then here I have my tenants. I have a handful of them here. You can easily see how many devices I have in each tenant. It's a test system, so they're all empty. But creating a tenant is so easy. You just say new tenant name. Really straightforward. You can change the icon if you feel so inclined to do so. Helps you realize what tenant you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to go ahead and create that tenant. And that is a completely net new tenant that's been generated. And you can see the tenant over here. And like I said earlier, you can easily switch between the various tenants as you need to, making it so simple. And you can see which tenant I'm in the top left-hand corner there.
Awesome. And everybody, well, I guess it depends on, it's probably not available on every Connect tier.
Yeah, so it's available on Plus and Premium. It's not available on the basic tier.
Okay. So, and I think that's the majority of our user base. So.
Yep. Yeah.
So most people, you should be able to go find this in the settings menu, start building out those tenants and testing with it, which is really cool.
Yeah, go use it. I mean, it's great. It doesn't cost anything additional to spin up a tenant. The way that the billing works is really easy, really straightforward. You don't get billed per tenant, so there isn't a cap on the number of tenants you can have. All the devices that you have roll up towards your subscription.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have 100 devices and you have 50 on one tenant and 50 on another, you're going to get one invoice like you always have that just says 100.
Awesome. Yeah, super simple. And I think there was a question from Marcel. You want to highlight that again, Kelly? That people were asking if we could answer.
We can take that. Well, hang on. Let me grab it. Hang on. Yeah. Let's go. Any work done on sharing packages on the same network like Windows does update downloads?
Any work done on sharing packages on the same network?
I assume that's to kind of like, ease off of the bandwidth you're using, so you're not just downloading the packages straight off the internet every time. Is that what you're thinking is, Marcel? So it's like if that gets pulled down to a workstation, then that can be used to then transfer to the other local
he says
devices.
Yes.
Yeah, great question. We don't currently have anything in the works for that.
Okay. But yeah, definitely. I mean, if that's something you guys need, like maybe you are having like bandwidth issues, and we do have some bandwidth settings in there to kind of like limit that, so you're not just like drowning your network right in deployments. But yeah, definitely submit that as a feature request if that's something you guys feel like you need and would benefit your situation. So.
And we do have a bunch of questions when you guys are ready. So.
Should we do one more feature?
Yeah. Let's get to the last one, which is group deployments.
All right, group deployments. Everyone's going to love this. Okay. Yeah. So here's the challenge with the existing deployments tab. As I think we already all know, you select 20 computers that you want to deploy to, and then you end up with 20 separate entries in the deployments tab. It can get really, really overwhelming, really, really fast. It's also hard to know what your deployment success rates are. And so with the new deployments tab, this is currently in beta, so you're not going to see this if you click on the deployments tab unless you're in the beta. But I happen to be in the beta, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what the deployments tab is going to look like here. So if you click on deployments, you're going to see a vastly different experience. So what this is now showing you is on August 7th, Dan did, our CEO actually. He's in there deploying. He deployed Notepad++ to 3 devices. So it's summing it up, and you can see the success rate over here. So it looks like he also tried to deploy Firefox, and unfortunately we had one fail. Mm-hmm. So if I click into that, actually I'll jump back here to the deployments here. If I jump into this, I can see what devices were successful. I also can go over to the filters. I'm gonna go ahead and clear all the filters so I can see all. These are the devices and their deployment status based on that deployment event. Makes that screen so much easier to manage, summarizes it out. You can see your success rate. We're also doing it, just to be completely transparent, to help with load times.
Yeah.
Sometimes that deployments tab, because there's so many entries, can load a little slower. So for those who are doing lots and lots of deployments, this will be a big improvement when it comes to speed as well.
Well, this is a big just win-win in general because one, you're helping on speed and efficiency, right? But two, it looks so much better and so much cleaner, and it's so much easier to digest and like actually see the deployments. Because especially if you're deploying to 100, 200, 300 devices or whatever, it's like that's just going to just wipe that whole page, and it's just going to be that one deployment that you're seeing. Versus this, you can actually see like the individual deployments, what succeeded, what failed, like all, like you can get, again, we're looking at a screen, we probably got like 20 of them right here that we're looking at that, span a few weeks here. So like a double win right there because it's faster and it's obviously it's just a better experience for the end user to like track down those deployments. Yeah,
it's just such a great step forward. In terms of getting access to the beta and kind of what we're targeting for availability, don't hold me to this, but right now we're thinking probably towards the end of the month is when we'll launch this feature for everybody. And it doesn't matter what package you're on, it's helping everyone.
August 21st right now, so
Yeah, it's
couple
gonna,
weeks. Within a
yeah,
couple
it's not
weeks.
very long. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's coming up. Yeah.
We'll see. So that's awesome. That's really cool. And again, a lot of the stuff that we have gone over today is like either out now, released within like the last couple days, couple weeks, or it's coming within the next few days, couple weeks. So definitely, if you haven't been in deploy or connect recently, definitely go in and like check some of this stuff out and let us know. Like send us your feedback.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. And that was my that's my overview of the recent releases. Hopefully that was helpful. Save you a little bit of time reading through the release notes.
Yeah, yeah. To be fair, I do love like when I get into Connect and I see that summary of like what's changed, what's popped up, what new features and stuff. Like I enjoy that summary, so I think that's way better than just a page of text that you normally have to go track down.
Sure. Yeah. That pop up is great. It's in the product all the time because we're releasing things all the time.
Or you could just call Mark and let him read it to you directly.
You could. I'm happy
Yeah,
to do.
we'll put a cell number up on the
Yeah,
screen.
there you go.
I'm happy to do a personal reading of the release notes if that's what you need.
You know what we should
Helps
do?
me sleep at night.
That's a new video we're going to do every
There
time.
you go.
You guys ready for some questions?
Actually, Kelly, if it's okay, I want to just touch on one last thing.
Oh
if that's
yeah,
all right.
absolutely. Go for it.
I think we're gonna just come out right on this. So PowerShell scanner.
Mm-hmm.
Lots
I've
and
heard
lots
of
of yeah, I'm sure you have. I think everyone in the chat has probably heard of PowerShell scanner too. That is absolutely something we plan to build. Just to be super transparent, it's a very complicated capability. It can scan thousands and thousands of rows with multiple columns. It can scan all the time, and so we've had to kind of step back and reimagine that capability as we think about how that can actually be built in Connect.
Mm-hmm.
That said, we are still planning on building that feature. Right now, we're working on package and step conditions. We're making really good progress on that capability.
Which is another big requested. Like for anybody that came from deploy and inventory who is used to those type of capabilities, that's like getting us right there with like feature parity deploy and inventory as far as that's concerned.
It is, yeah. PowerShell scanner and package step conditions are kind of like two peas in the pod, right? Like they're kind of together. So we are working right now. We prioritize working on package step conditions. We're making great progress on that capability. PowerShell scanner is the next ability that team will be working on.
Okay.
So we do know it's frustrating, and it's, especially when you have such a powerful feature in deploy and inventory that's not yet in Connect. But we are working towards that, and we will be adding that capability.
Sweet. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get some questions.
Let's do. All right. First question. When can we anticipate PDQ Connect packages for Linux machines? Sincerely, Ricky.
Yeah, love that question. So just like we're adding macOS support, we see value in adding Linux as well. Right now, however, we are focused on adding Macs.
Mm.
And so you won't see anything around Linux this year. We are discussing whether or not that'll be something that we deliver in 2026, but we haven't actually started or officially decided that we're going to do Linux in 2026. That said, we do see the value in that, and we will add that to the product at some point. We're just not quite ready to tell you when.
Yeah. And that really comes down to like demand. Obviously, a lot of people are starting to kind of like adopt macOS as an end user device. I don't think the demand is quite as high for Linux yet, but we do. Obviously, we still see the benefit there. So
yeah, absolutely,
definitely on our radar.
Yeah, I think we all want to manage our devices in one place, not multiple tools. So.
Yeah.
Next question. We are currently using PDQ Deploy and Inventory. We're growing our Windows laptops, but still have desktops on campus. Should we move all to PDQ Connect or use both? Mike H.
You want to take this one?
Yeah. So, I mean, deploying inventory is awesome. I mean, I used it before coming here, saved our butts big time. But honestly, Connect, like maybe when it didn't first come out, right? We were still rolling out a lot of features, but the feature parity is like so close that if there's not like essential features keeping you on DNI, I prefer the workflow of Connect myself. And if you're dealing with like a hybrid environment, you've got, some remote devices, some on-prem devices. I mean, Connect can handle them all. There's no issue there. And it's easier when you've just got one pane of glass. Whereas like deploying, if you're switching between the three of them, you have Connect, you have Deploy, you have Inventory. That's three different management consoles where you could just kind of rely on Connect to do all the things. But of course, that's not for everybody. You've got things like air-gapped networks to consider, things like that where Deploy and Inventory are going to excel. And if you have issues with agent-based installations, then you might have an issue with Connect there. But preferably, I would stay with Connect.
Yeah, and if you're not totally sure, we do see customers that will keep deploying inventory for a year while they transition to Connect.
Yeah.
But like Brock said, if at the end of the day, deploying inventory is a better fit for you, that is a supported product. We have a dedicated engineering team for, and so it's not going away. So use it if it's a better fit.
Yeah. Yep.
Next up, will we be able to show the agent name instead of the organization name when connecting via PDQ Connect remote desktop? Maybe give us a choice in case some customers want to keep the organization name. Sincerely, Givitoro.
The answer is yes. Yeah, so we've heard that feedback. That's actually one of the top pieces of feedback that we get around.
Wow.
Yeah, it's that, and right now the remote desktop offering doesn't always retain all your settings,
Okay.
which can be frustrating as you tweak a setting and then you go to the next session. And so those are two things that we're currently looking at. We don't have a timeline yet, but that we're in active discussions on what we could do to make that better.
Cool.
Next up is being one of the early beta testers. It's been great to see the product grow its capabilities. However, we're seeing now a slow response to systems coming online on the console, often exceeding 5 to 10 minutes, an eternity before the device is up. Note, we use also enable, and if the device has both installed enable, shows up within 10 seconds. Big difference in our time spent, especially when doing live support. Thoughts, Blair?
Yeah, so the PDQ label, right, about being quick is really important to us. And that's something we've tried really hard to keep as we've moved from deploying inventory, which is, on-prem. We wanted to keep that same speed as we moved to a cloud offering, PDQ Connect.
Yeah.
There have been some hiccups as we've done that and some slowness. That is a top priority for us. So we set these different goals every 3 months on where we want to be focused as a business. Speed around the agent is a top priority for us to continue to improve. So yeah, it's sad to hear that maybe we've had some challenges there, but just know that is a big concern for us as well, and something that we're focused on.
Yeah, and that's fair feedback. I mean, if you pull up the Connect console again, we're looking at the deployments page, right? We focus on speed. Look at these elapsed times. 1 second, 14 seconds, 31, everything. We're a lot of the stuff we do is seconds, not minutes, right? And so that's definitely fair feedback. And if it's something that you feel is just getting worse and worse, definitely let us know. There might be an issue that we're unaware of. So definitely send us your feedback, let us know, put in a ticket, whatever the case may be, because we don't want that to be the case, obviously.
Yeah, in most cases, specifically with the agent being installed, it is usually pretty fast. There are some things that can slow that down. It can be, oftentimes we actually find that that's a network problem. So if you are seeing really excessive times, that particular question, those seem really excessive to me and outside the norm, do reach out to our support department. The solutions team would be happy to look at that and see, is it us or is it you? Is the old relationship challenge.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, we have a few more here in the queue. When will Connect users get insight into the current user logged on plus status of locked/disconnected? PDQ DNI has it, Pulseway has it, Screen Connect has it. Sincerely, Rusb.
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't know the answer to that one. I'll have to go back and look at currently what we're thinking there. If you don't mind logging that particular item in feature request, that'd be helpful for us to track. But I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up from Jessica M. Any chance PDQ will look into ticketing system integration in the future, something like Fresh Service or ServiceNow?
Yes, this is something that we are actively looking at. What we're trying to debate right now is which are the right partners to partner with. If Jessica, I think it was Jessica M, I think is what it was.
Yes.
If you would reach out to me, I would love to understand, or anyone who's thinking about help desk and integration with help desk. What we're trying to identify right now is, what does it mean to integrate with the help desk? What are the capabilities that you want to see integrate with the help desk? I mean, a lot of different things, lots of different people. If you'd reach out to me personally, that'd be great. I'm gonna give my email address here. It's always a little scary, but I'm always happy to talk to anyone about the product. mark.littlefield@pdq.com. Would love to hear from you, specifically about help desk, if there are areas in help desk that you would like us to see.
Yeah, and that's part of that living up to hey, we let the customers steer the ship, right? We want to hear from you guys, and it's not as simple as just hey, here's a help desk. What are the features that you need, right?
I could build
that when we do it, it's done right.
I could build an integration help desk, but it might be horrible. We want to make sure we build one that's actually useful.
Yeah.
And his cell number is 555. No, I'm kidding. All right, next up from CM, can you please add a permission level that allows people to use an already installed remote connection, but not install it on new devices? We want much more control over this before allowing it.
It's a great idea. I can't promise we can do that at this exact moment, but that's a great idea, and I'll bring that back to the team.
Yeah.
All right, we have a couple more. This one from Dylan C. I use PDQ Deploy and Inventory and already did a trial of Connect a few months ago. Did you say we can request to use the alpha version for free until the end of the year?
Yeah, that's a good clarification. The macOS support inside of PDQ Connect, we are offering those devices for free. So if you have a subscription for PDQ Connect, you're managing some Windows devices, and you want to try out the Mac capabilities, that is free.
Yeah, so you can deploy that out to 100 Mac devices, and your license total isn't going to go up, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
And our final question from Adam L. When you create a new tenant for the first time, are all existing devices automatically added to it, or is it considered separate from what's existing, essentially creating two tenants?
Yeah, great question. So when you create a new tenant, the tenant is blank. There's nothing in it. So there's no devices that are brought over. There's no content from the parent tenant that's automatically brought over. It's effectively a brand new sub account under your parent account, and so there's nothing that's brought over. So it's completely new. What's really cool about it though is you will go through the first time user experience every time you create a tenant, which will help you create all of your automations. If we can switch over back to the screen, maybe I'll show you how that works. It's actually really, really cool. I love this. And if you're a long time PDQ Connect customer, you've maybe missed some of the new onboarding capabilities. But I'm going to go back to creating a tenant really fast. We're going to make another tenant. We'll go example tenant 100. I've probably made a million of these already. I'll click create, and this is my new tenant. It's blank. There's nothing in it. And what's really cool about creating a tenant now is you have the ability to benefit from all the auto setup. Mm-hmm. Again, if you're a long-term customer, you've never seen this. I'm going to click, we'll click continue here. I can choose which applications I care about.
Now, these are building out your groups, right?
It's going to build out your groups and your automations. So it's going to make it really easy to get a new tenant up and running. We'll skip that for now. It's going to create all of our devices for us. And it's going to keep doing that. It's making all the automations for all of those groups and all those applications. And then I can switch over to automations, and it pre-built all those automations. So creating a new tenant is way easier than it used to be when you create a new account. We're going to help you get it configured exactly how you want it to be configured.
Yeah. And we're still looking at other things, right? As far as like the multi-tenancy goes and like carrying over like packages, things like that. So there'll definitely be more coming on that stuff, but this is like a terrific start.
Yeah, even where it's at today, I mean, it's super useful, especially if you're trying to break apart accounts for some reason. Either, again, very common for MSPs, but also very common for internal IT when they're working on different types of devices or different geos. This is a great feature. You should use it now.
Yeah. And I did see one more question that I thought was interesting. I don't know the answer to. Maybe they don't even want me asking it, but I'm going to anyways because Josh isn't here to stop me. But it was around Windows apps, like support for Windows apps. And I know there's like, as far as like sysadmins are concerned, we don't like those things personally. It's like a lot of it is like per user profile, things like that, where it's just like they're hard to manage. Is there any like hope for the future of Windows apps inside of like Connect?
We've discussed it. Truthfully, it's not on the roadmap right now. There are some things you can do today to manage them custom, but it admittedly is kind of hard.
Yeah.
So no plans at the moment.
I remember polling through. This is just something I went through probably a couple months ago. I was like, man, what can I do to like help manage these things, right? And I wrote a PowerShell script, and it basically returned like all of the Windows apps on the device, and that pulled it into a registry. I was going to use the registry scanner to scan for all those apps and stuff. But man, the amount of apps, like you don't understand, like these things are named terribly, identifying what apps are what and stuff. And it just pulled in. It was just like a huge registry key full of like garbage information with like the few odds and ends of like the actual like apps you could identify, right? And so it was not a pleasant experience. So, I mean, I would love to see something on Microsoft's end to make managing those a little simpler, but we'll see what happens there. So anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it. I think we got most of your questions. If you do have more questions, Mark was kind enough to grace us with his email address. So blow up his mailbox. And I'm sorry, Mark.
Yeah, do it.
But yeah, we love hearing from you guys. So seriously, give us your feedback. Give us your feature requests. We love all of that. We love our users. Thank you for watching, guys. For PDQ, I am Brock.
Thanks for joining our webcast today. A few things we didn't get to, so join us again next week, and we will be asking you some questions. Also, do us a favor, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and continue the party over on Discord. Andrew is there waiting for you with open arms, or at least an open keyboard, I guess. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you back here next time.